And hello fellow tankers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today I bring you a marathon. Marathon? Yes, E50 Marathon. I'm gonna have 5 or 6 games, I don't know, either 5 or 6 games for you guys, for which I'm gonna provide commentary. I apologize for not posting for a while. I took a break from the game. I was so fed up with the game. I've been playing it for 4 years, almost 4 years, and sometimes you just have to take a mental break and just reset, and that's exactly what I've done. So getting back to the game was quite difficult, as you know, that the controls, aiming, just getting back in the groove, getting used to the game again is quite difficult. So it took me a little bit of time to get up to speed, but in the last week I played for a couple of days. I think I played about close to 20 to 30 games in the E50. So I'm gonna present to you some highlights from the games. Now I don't have anything epic per se, but the games that I've chosen for you guys I think are pretty exciting, and E50 is overall a pretty exciting tank and quite exceptional, I must say. So I'm calling this episode Road to Unicom because I have recently reached a Unicom status in this tank. I'm currently hovering around close to 2600 win rate. I have played 190 battles in this tank all together from the beginning since I got it, and I've had this tank for quite a while now. But I haven't played it in a while, I just got back to it recently. I don't know, I just felt like playing it. So my win rate in the tank is about 63%, playing randoms only, without platooning, which I think is an excellent result. So there's still ways to go for me to get better, prop up my win rate, but at this point I'm actually happy with where I am. So what this video is going to show you guys is what kind of games you should expect to play in order to raise your skill level. What do you need to do to increase your win rate on this tank? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover different maps in each of my replays, and I'm gonna try to explain my reasoning and what I do in each replay and what are the positions that I'm using that might be beneficial for you guys. So the games will be mostly somewhere between 3.5 to 4.5k range. I think there was one game that was a little bit over 5k. My overall average on this tank is only about 2k damage, but in the last, well, I would say in the last few months, but I really haven't played this tank that much, so I guess I would say in the last week or maybe last few weeks before me taking a break, I played this tank a little bit as well. My average damage is over 3k, somewhere in the range of 3.5k. So I think if you maintain somewhere between 3.5k average damage, you could see a gradual increase in your win rate. So the games you see posted by other Unicom players on their YouTube channels are sometimes not really representative of the true gameplay. What I'm going to be showing you is more realistic and what you are going to expect. Now obviously I'm not going to show you a game where I get killed by artillery with 2 shots of damage or something of that nature, because that is normal, and it happens actually in this run yesterday. It happened so that I got 1 shot by a Death Star, snapshot it. So you can imagine how angry you can get when you just pull out, you try to start brawling, and then Death Star is aiming at you, not even aiming, just pre-aiming and shooting, and takes you out of the game. So that's things like that are happening, and unfortunately you can't take those out of the game. It's just the RNG factor, which will screw you over regardless. So you're just gonna have to take it with a grain of salt, ignore the bad games, and just pay attention to the good games and try to do the things better every time you play. Okay, so back to the gameplay. I'm showing you this game because it's not particularly high damage game, but me and the guy in the AMX managed to pull off quite a nice carry here. We were 2 versus 5 enemy tanks, and the game was very slowly developing. Actually, I didn't realize I was on a European server, and that's why the count is so low with respect to players on each side. So the reason I'm showing you this is because it shows a perfect example where the opposing team thinks they can just run us over, but they didn't realize that we're both fairly reasonably full health. So you can see this E3 going right through the middle, but he's getting right into the crossfire situation. So when he's facing my friend in the AMX over there, then I get side shots on him, and if he's facing me, my buddy in AMX gets shots at him. So what I did here was I tracked him in place, and here I'm gonna try to do the same thing, but unfortunately that doesn't take off his track. Now I can see a couple things coming on my back, so my priority is to take the E3 first, so I'm taking him out. Then I take another shot in the process, but I don't care because I have enough HP at this point. I'm gonna take out the E75, and the only guy remaining at this point is his STI, and I'm gonna try to put one shot into him, and my buddy will finish him off. Yeah, so nothing spectacular, but just shows you you never give up. Never give up at the end of the game. Keep going, and good things will happen. Next clip I'm going to show you will be something with respect to annoyances of this tank, the crew issues, the module damage issues, and that sort of stuff. So I'll see you back in the next clip. So one thing you guys should be aware about this tank is the fact that this tank is an excellent brawler, believe it or not. If you angle it properly, and your traverse speed is really good, so you can really poke out, take a shot quickly, and hide behind the cover. That's what's really good about this tank. But the purpose of this clip is really to show you what kind of issues you are going to run into with respect to your crew and your modules and that type of stuff, because in this clip you're gonna see what really happens. So yeah, I'm kind of exposing my lower plate here because I just want to poke out and go back into cover very quickly. Now, quite common thing in this tank is that both your driver and your gunner will die quite frequently. Now for the driver, it's quite obvious because other tanks will be aiming at your lower plate and the driver sitting in the vicinity of the lower plate. So yeah, you'll find him die quite frequently. As for the gunner, people will be aiming at your turret, and that's where the gunner sits, so gunner will be quite exposed as well. So I've noticed I usually carry one med kit with me, but in many cases it's not enough, and I usually repair the gunner as that's more important for me than the driver. But I would strongly recommend getting Jack of all trades as a skill for your crew, and that will slightly compensate for your dying crew members. Now you also have to be aware of the fact that this tank has 20% of fire chance, so I do carry an automatic fire extinguisher on this tank, but what happens in this clip is quite unexplainable. I have no clue how my engine gets damaged here. Some weird stuff has been going with this game lately. T10 penetrates me through the lower plate and my engine dies. No one is shooting at me from behind. I don't know how you can damage the engine on this tank shooting through your lower plate. I have no clue. So some things I can't really explain. Another thing that you should be cautious about is your ammo rack. The ammo rack storage is on both sides of the tank, as well as in the back of the turret, on the two sides of the turret. So yeah, when you get hit on the side, it's quite likely that your ammo rack will be damaged. So another crew skill that I would recommend for this tank is safe stowage. Now I don't have that crew skill yet. I'm working towards getting there. I think my crew has about 6 skills right now, with 7 skill being trained at the moment. So the current skills I have are Sixth Sense, Brothers in Arms, Repairs, Mentor, Snapshot, and Situational Awareness. I'm working towards Smooth Ride right now, so I soon should have 7 skills. By the way, this is a nice access point if you are drawn on North Spawn on this map. If you guys don't know, there it is. I mean, almost any tank can make it up that ramp over here, and you get into position very quickly, and the position I'm in here is very powerful because you get shots at the guys trying to go up the hill, then you can go around this cliff here and shoot people coming into the position from their spawn, as well as you are already safe, totally already safe. So yeah, other skills I would recommend would be Jack of all trades because of your crew members dying, safe stowage because of the ammo rack durability being kind of crap with ammo rack sitting right on the sides of the tank, and clutch braking would be highly recommended because this tank turns very slow, which will be apparent actually in this video at a later point in the game. So here, I'm in a good position. You can see, like, I have shots all over the place. I have shots at the guys at the hill. I can poke around the cliff here and take shots at the guys coming in. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. While, look at what our team is doing. And guys, I mean, on this map, you can't be doing that. If you are lemon training on this map, you have to push hard towards the cap. But what these guys did was they're just going to be sitting down on the bottom of the hill. They're not going to come up. So I'm all alone here basically with a couple of light tanks fighting all these guys coming in from this side, which is not very optimal, honestly. And our heavy tank, you can see, I don't know what this tank is, but he's pushing into E5. He thinks he's a hero, but he's getting fire from the top of the hill, so he's gonna die pretty soon because he's pretty much isolated. He's got 3 guns on him, if not more, because there are guys around the hill as well, I think. So I'm trying to help him as much as I can, taking shots at this E5. But soon, I will probably be isolated here just on my own. So the plan at this point was, I wanted to see if I can actually push this. I know there are a few tanks on this side, but E50 has this potential, guys. E50 is a very powerful tank. I mean, it's got some armor, it's got very good gun, and one thing I didn't mention is the alpha on this tank. The alpha is like, well, the average would be somewhere at 380, I would say, somewhere of that nature. I mean, you can get rolls that are higher than 400. You can get rolls that are 300. But an average, I would say, would be about 370, 380 that I'm getting with this tank. So yeah, it has a total carry potential, that's for sure. So E5 tracks me here. I know he's focusing me now, so I'm gonna try to take a shot at him and hide behind that. I was thinking about hiding that hill on the left over here and going after him, but he gets taken out at this point, and here I make a mistake. I probably should have tried to climb the hill. If I claimed the hill, I had high ground, I could be shooting at these guys. But for whatever reason, my sixth sense never goes off until now. So the guys that are around the hill here, they actually turned around and they went after me, which is a very smart play. But again, our guys in E2, they weren't doing anything. You know, they weren't coming up the hill trying to put these guys in the crossfire, and that's the problem. I mean, the teams that we're dealing with now are pretty ridiculous, I would say. I mean, I guess there must be a lot of new players in the game, so I can't be awfully angry. It's just so frustrating to play the game, especially if you want to raise your stats. So, you know, most of the good players platoon at this point in time because, you know, when you platoon, obviously, you can communicate and cover these areas that you need to cover. But when you have guys like these, like look at this guy in T10, like, I mean, he doesn't even know who to shoot. Like, he came around the hill and he completely ignored the 2 tanks that were sitting on the right side. I mean, there's not much you can do about that, guys, unfortunately. I mean, you can do what's best for you in that situation. Get your damage whenever you can. Yeah, the main reason I was showing you this game is because of the access point on cliff on the north side. So you know how to get up that hill, how to position yourself there. And you can always have good games when you do that. The other side is not so easy because you have to access it either from, what is it, the 0 line, the west side, or all the way from the east side. So it's not as simple. So north is much better when it comes to that. So yeah, almost 4k damage. Could have been better if I was smarter. If I actually climbed the hill, I would have shots at these guys and maybe find some cover. But unfortunately, it wasn't the case. Okay, off to the next video. So this video is going to be awesome because it's going to show some 1v1 capabilities of this tank. Now, I'm a top tier in this match, and when you're in top tier in E50, you have to take control. And that's what I'm going to do. Now, we're going to touch on a little bit on a strategy here too. The most important area, guys, if you drone on this side of the map, the most important area on this map is C2, because that's how you access the other side of the map, because there is a little incline there and it's much easier to fight through here than try to get through the open field, which is in, what is it, J line. There's no way you can get through on the other side. The only advantage on the other side is that for tank destroyers is to sit there on a J line, well, not J line, what is it, 9 line, and snipe onto J and H lines. But what I'm going to show you here is a fantastic position, so if you have very fast tank, this is a very good spot to get to. Right over here, especially if you have a tank with good gun depression, you can climb over that little hill over here and you will have shots on the guys poking from that side. But as you can see, I came here all by myself, and since I already committed to come here, there was no point for me to turn back. So I decided to fight, and that's what I'm gonna do. And the mistake for the Reds is that they're coming at me one by one. If they swarmed me all together, it would have been probably end of the game pretty soon. But as you can see, there's another guy coming one-on-one, and that's a Patton. Actually, that's a tier 9. And E50 will win this fight every time, because you can use your ramming ability, and that's what I've done here. And the only, I guess, issue here was that I was rolling really low. Like every shot was low 300s or mid 300s. If I've taken this button out earlier, I would have maintained my hit point pool much better. But unfortunately, that was not the case. But again, 1v1 versus button, no problem. E50 wins. Just point your frontal armor to whatever tank you're facing, and you'll take him out. And here I cleared a couple of guys, and I have 3 shots on this T10 right now. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, so it got a little bit quiet here. I didn't know whether the enemy team actually pushed the other side already, because T10 was already far on our side of the map. So I was just kind of poking here and seeing what is going on. And no one is coming after me. I saw this Pershing, and I saw he was all alone, so I may as well bully him, right? So yeah, I ram him again. Again, I didn't mention that either. E50 is excellent at ramming. You can basically run any tanks, even heavy tanks. But once they get around the sides, like this Pershing did get around to the side, to my side, yeah, E50 is easy to penetrate. So you gotta make sure you point your frontal armor. That's why I think clutch braking is very important. I think I might actually retrain one of my crew members to clutch braking, and that would probably help me. Now here I made a mistake. I thought I could bully this Centurion. I should have probably been hiding and taking shots at him. I decided to ram him, but he aimed at my lower plate and he didn't flinch, and he took me out of the game. So good for him. Good for him. And yeah, I'm not gonna show the rest of the game. Let's skip to the post-game stats. So it was a defeat, unfortunately defeat, and I knew that was gonna happen because of the way the teams kind of distributed. No one came to help me on my side of the map. But yeah, very nice damage, 5.3k damage, high caliber metal. Only mastery 3, and I think with this tank being so potent, I think to get ace tanker, probably have to do somewhere in a range of 6 or 7k damage with a bunch of assisted damage, or maybe about 4 or 5k damage plus 3k assisted or something like that. But anyway, very good result. And again, I'm showing this replay because of the map and the position that I like on this map, so I wanted to show it to you guys. Okay, off to the next game. This game is on map Highway. It's a tier 10 battle with 1 artillery, so we gotta be cautious about the piggies. And now we're gonna talk about a bit of strategy on map Highway. Actually, again, I'm gonna show you a really nice position on this map if you are playing on this side of the map. So usually what I do here first, I see whether our team is trying to hit the field or not, because in many cases, if majority of our forces are hitting the field, I like doing that as well. I like going in the field and going through B2 area, somewhere over there. As you can see, our team is not really pushing hard. Everyone's kind of sitting back, so it looks like the assault is going to be happening through the city. And if that's the case, this is the position that I usually take. And you see our light tank deep in a G6 area, which is excellent. Actually, that's excellent, and what you want from your light tank is to take an aggressive position like that and provide some vital spots. But at this point it seems fairly quiet. I don't see any of the enemy team coming through. I don't have any shots. Here you could see really nice shot there. So when the enemy team actually gets to the buildings, to the city, you have nice side shots through the road over here. And you somewhat, I mean, you're not really protected, but you're somewhat protected by the bridge, because those bridge posts actually act as shields. So basically, the shots may actually hit them and not go through. So here you see, I can see a couple spots. Unfortunately, I cannot get a clear shot at this E5 until now, but I didn't pre-aim it very well and it missed. But shortly you're gonna see him crossing over. First of all, he kind of checks like, oh, can I cross over or not? But don't worry, eventually he will. All of them do. So you can see him here, he's crossing over. I track him, and he's just sitting like a lame duck right now. I request fire at him, and I reload in time to hit him again. He doesn't know where the fire is coming from. He's panicking right now, you can see that. So we're gonna take him out of the game. And fortunately the RNG was good to us, and gun didn't shed any potato shots there. So now I see this T-54, so I put a shot into him. And that's what this position can do. I mean, it gives you this ability to snipe. So if you have a good sniping tank, this would be a very good spot. And yeah, you can see like the game is kind of passive right now. I mean, our team is not really... I mean, our team in the city is pushing, but the rest of the guys on this side are just kind of sitting and sniping. So, and that little ridge here allows you to hide. You can see how I'm sitting right now. Here again, someone else is crossing. I took a shot at them. So the bridge is protecting me from the front, and from the right side I get protected by the hill. So it's a fairly nice spot. I've played in this position in my tank destroyers. I don't play tank destroyers a lot, but man, if you can set a tank destroyer over here and you can catch these guys crossing, you can take a lot of HP out of them very easily. So the game is slightly progressing. We're winning this battle. Looks like the city will shortly be ours. I'm trying to poke and take shots at this E5, but I get spotted. I don't really know what's spotting me. There must be something, maybe the Death Star. Maybe his view range is pretty good, I'm not sure. But again, that ridge here allows me to just kind of drop. And right now I'm safe to come here because the city is pretty much ours, so I don't have a problem sitting here. So I'm gonna try to be very patient here. Again, it's a tier 10 game. You don't want to get hit for like, you know, 1000 HP and die right away. I mean, you try to maximize your damage at this point. We're gonna win this game, I think, pretty handily. I mean, we have the city, we have this side of the map. It is really extremely hard for the other team to climb up and get to our side of the map. We have guys defending the base, so the distribution of the team is actually fantastic. And what was so good about this game was that we didn't have any crazy YOLOs going on their own into the field, and everybody was sticking together, which is very good. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but in this game it actually did. So I keep on trying to do the same thing, but I'm getting spotted all the time, and so I'm still being very cautious because there's Death Star in the field. I think there's T-95 in the field. I'm gonna try to take some shots at them. I could see Death Star going behind the building here, so I took a shot at him. Now, with my AP rounds, it's very unlikely that I can penetrate this T-95. So I'm swapping to a PCR right now. But unfortunately, he hides, so I have no more shots at him. Anyway, I'm gonna try to be patient here. Our team is pushing right now, so yeah, eventually these guys are gonna have to come out. Again, I get spotted, so I drop quickly. I don't know, maybe I'm paranoid a little bit, but lately I've been getting focused so much that I prefer not to take any damage until the late stages of the game. Because even, I mean, guys, I've been in games lately where we've been winning pretty handily and the team just falls apart. So you can't, I guess, you can't trust anyone anymore. Especially me not platooning, so I'm trying to do the best I can and help the team win, right? So again, long range shots at T95. There's no way I'm gonna hit those. But hey, it's worth a shot. If you don't take the shots, you're never gonna hit. So at this point, I think it's almost cleared up. So there's only a few tanks left in the, what is it, C7 area or C6 area, somewhere over there. So we're gonna try to approach them and get them out of the game. So I see Patton over there, M48 Patton. I'm going to try to engage him because he's the closest. Although he has advantage because of the gun depression, which I don't have, and he does. So I notice the artillery. I take out the piggy. And she's gone out of the game. And again, I'm going to be cautious here. I mean, I could potentially probably YOLO here. I don't know, again. Maybe I could get more damage, but I didn't, so... Could have, would have, right? I think at this point I decided, okay, you know what? I think, well, not yet, but I took a shot at the cupola of Patton, but it bounced. Not sure, maybe I aimed too high. So here I decided to finally YOLO. I mean, it's about time. Maybe a little bit too late. I should have probably YOLO'd earlier. And I'm trying to ram him over here, but I think he's gonna be taken out by another tank. And you can see me wiggle. That's kind of what you should be doing. You know, it throws the other player off a little bit because they're aiming at your lower plate, obviously, so you want to make a miss, right? And final stages of the game, just cleaning up here. So took the tank destroyer out and little spin to end the game. Yeah, nothing spectacular again. I mean, it was a tier 10 game. You know, 3.4k damage, kind of average damage game. But what I wanted to show you in this game again was the map, the spawn, and the position. And the position that I'm using. And depending on what team does, that's the position I'm going to use. Now, if the team would be swarming the field, I would probably go together with the team. Now, it also depends on number of artilleries. If there are 2 or more artilleries, forget about the field. Okay, off to the next game. We are on Karelia. We're at the top tier. Nice combinations of tier 9s, 8s, and 1 or 2 tier 7s. And there is no artillery, which is excellent. We don't like artillery. Well, you know, the game is so much easier without arty and so much more exciting. There's so many more things you can do without artillery. I don't want to get into that. That's the whole different topic. But what we're going to do on Karelia, what we should do in a top tier heavy armored vehicle that has speed. You get to the central area of the what is it? G8. What is it? West area of the map, or east area of the map. Come on, space. Get your head around. So east area of the map. I'm gonna use our speed to get to position. Take a shot at the Batchat autoloader there, but unfortunately hit his track. Now we're gonna try to punish these guys that are already in the field. Unfortunately, this shot goes into the ground. Believe it or not, the shot went into the ground and didn't hit. So I'm trying to take as many shots as I can over here. But once there's nothing else to shot, I'm gonna try to approach the hill and win the hill. Now this area is very important because from the hill you can get shots all across the map. And as you can see, there's enemy tanks already up there, probably shooting at our tanks that are on the other side of the map. So we really have to get up here and start clearing them out. I could see our heavy tank is with us. I don't see what it is. Defender. So Defender is with us at this time. So I'm trying to take a shot at this light tank here, but unfortunately I don't have gun depression, and I couldn't shoot through the defender, so here, and yeah, this gun has been doing to me quite something quite strange. You basically lead your shot, but it doesn't hit. It just goes way behind where you're aiming, which is very strange. But yeah, this game is strange sometimes. I can't understand. Now I realize that there is tank destroyer pre-aiming this area, so I turn my frontal armor towards the field. I see, can see here, I think it's a T-30, so I took a shot at T-30 there. But I have to keep in mind that the tank destroyer is still there, probably pre-aiming at me, so... And I'm spotted all the time, so I don't want to really push through that, because normally what you would want to do is you want to push around the hill over here to the other side where the rock is, because that's a safer spot there. And whoops, here comes the tortoise, and I'm like, I'm looking at the map, I don't see anybody else here. I'm like, okay, I think I'm in trouble. Tortoise has incredible rate of fire, so I really don't want to face him right now. But I'm gonna try to take as much damage from him as possible while he's coming up. I know he's coming after me. So here I took a shot in his cupola. I'm dropping in the process, and I'm asking for help. That someone comes and helps me here. Obviously, I'm trying to shoot the light tank first because he's gonna try to round me, and unfortunately I didn't roll high enough, so I didn't take him out. So here I'm gonna try to track the tortoise, put him in place. He fires, but misses. But I got shots incoming from behind me now, and I get ammo racked. So I repair my ammo rack. I aim at cupola tortoise, and that bounces. That bounced, and again, my engine dies, and I'm not really sure here whether it was tortoise that injured my engine, or was it the tanks that were behind? Because remember that clip I was showing you guys, that T10 actually destroyed my engine through the bottom plate, which is really strange. So I don't know if that's a common thing for E50. I mean, I looked at the modules on the screen, on the Xbox screen, and it showed that the engine's in the back, so I'm assuming that you have to hit the back in order to get the engine damaged, but anyway, not sure. So now I have damaged engine. I don't have any more repair kits because I used them up already for my ammo rack. Actually, one repair kit, I used it for my ammo rack. So now I'm just gonna try to come behind here and clear out this area and clear these guys that are still here. So I'll take out the IS-3, trying to pre-aim at the Batchat, who's still alive sitting behind the rock there, but he gets taken out. So now the only guy left that I can shoot at is AMX 5120. So I take one shot at him, and I'm gonna stay here until he comes out. And I bet you eventually he will come out, and he does. So I take him out, and at this point only one tank left in the game. I think it's the Swedish tank destroyer, so we're gonna try to get one more shot of damage, hopefully, before he gets taken out. Yes, we do. We take one more shot of damage, and I think that's gonna be about it. Yes, he gets taken out. So, game over. Quick game. But that's what happens, guys. If you know which position to take early, and this position is very important on this map, when you have some armor, if you have some armor, you should always come to this position. Because it's just too important. So 4.1k damage, 2.5 assisted, pretty nice game. That's about 6.6 combined damage, very nice. Only mastery 2. Again, I don't know what it takes to get a ace tanker in this tank, but it has to be probably, like I said, 6 or 7k damage. Okay, off to the next game, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, so next game is on Airfield. We have drawn the west spawn with the top tier again. There are three artilleries on the opposing team, 2 artilleries on our side. What we're gonna do again is we're gonna take quite aggressive position on this map. And most of you might know this position. I use this position every once in a while, not all the time, depending on the tank. Usually the tank that has good view range, like a light tanks, it's a good light tank position, good medium tank position. Probably not the best for the heavy, but you know, whatever you prefer. Yeah, I mean, you can get there with any tank pretty much, but I think it's a common spot mostly for lights and mediums. So this is the spot I'm talking about. Whoops, there's a tank coming. Oh, great shot. Wow, did you see that? That was a Unicom shot, guys. That's how Unicom shoot. Anyway, forget about that. So this is the position I'm talking about. These are the bushes right here. And through these bushes you can spot all the way to, what is it, H9? Somewhere over there? Well, depending on the view range of your tank, obviously. But the good thing is you can get those shots here. So the tanks that are climbing the hill in H8 area, somewhere over there, you can get shots through to these tanks, or side shots, so it's fairly easy. Now I tried to take a shot at M103 there, but I didn't want to overexpose myself. I didn't have gun depression, so I decided to drop and take what's coming. And usually that's the guys, that's the way to play. I mean, never overexpose your tank. Try to get what you can take, and if you can't take anything, then try to find a different position. Try to switch. I mean, if you have no shots, obviously there's no point sitting in that one position. I mean, you're gonna have to do something else in order to get your damage. So I took what I could from there. Now I'm turning my attention to this side. I pre-aim because if the tanks are not looking your way, there's no point zooming in. May as well just pre-aim, auto-aim, and shoot them, or especially tanks that are very soft. So I know which tanks are soft, and that's what I'm doing with either with soft tanks, or if I'm facing their rear, I'm just gonna auto-aim and fire. I'm not gonna even bother aiming. But if I'm facing heavily armored vehicle like this M103, I'm trying to aim and take the shot. Unfortunately, I hit the rock there. So yeah, look at this guy, YOLO. So yeah, with E50, what you try to do is you can never get light tank get around you, because if they will, and another guy's coming. Wow. They really want me here. So again, I'm trying to push him off. I don't want him to go around me. I don't want him to show my side, my back. Unfortunately, I got stuck on a slippery rock there, and he managed to put a shell into me. But that's the idea, basically. You weren't gonna run away. I reloaded in time. But it looks like enemy team is pushing quite heavily through this area. So I'm gonna still poke out here and try to take some shots. But now it's getting kind of hairy. It looks like it's only me here, and there's quite a few of the enemy tanks. So I'm gonna try to drop. And now, look at the guys, I'm paying attention. And yeah, this guy's trying to yellow me. So I think he gets taken out. But if you pay attention behind me, that area is ours. So I can do what I'm doing right now. I'm hanging off the back here, and I'm not worrying that something's gonna hit me, because our team has control of the other side of the map. Otherwise, what I would do is I would drop down the hill completely and come on our side of the map. That would be the fallback position. In this case here, I'm trying to look for shots at this M103. I tried to fire at his cheek, but that didn't go through. Unfortunately, AP rounds of E50 are not the greatest. Here he injures my... Was it gunner? I can't see here. Yeah, he injures my gunner. That's just what I told you guys. My gunner dies usually, and my driver. So he injures my gunner, so I couldn't hit that shot in a cupola that I wanted to. But again, a quick game, full of action. I mean, these guys just kept on coming, and you could see most of good games, or relatively good games, happen when you're in single position. If you have a good position and the enemy team is pushing, you get your damage, and that's exactly what happened here. So artillery, the last tank left, and artillery's gone now, so that's the end of it. The good guys win again. Alright, what have we here? 4.5k damage, not much assisted, not much block, but high caliber metal. Again, doing what the top tier should be doing, is getting damage, and engaging quickly. And yeah, I mean, that's quite normal game for E50, especially at top tier. Fired 16 shots, 12 direct hits, 10 penetrations. Again, 4.5k damage. Pretty good game. Okay guys, we are nearing the end of our E50 Marathon. This will be the last game. I hope you enjoyed this so far. I know it's been kind of a long session, but it kind of represents what you would see in a stream. I mean, I don't stream, I don't have time to stream, so the best I can do is do this for you guys, and I can put those videos together, you know, from day to day to day. I basically put them together in chunks until I get it to where I want it to be. Especially long videos like this, they take quite a bit of time, especially for voice recording, editing, and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comment section whether this is something you would like to see, or do you prefer shorter videos. I mean, for me obviously it's easier to make shorter videos, but I think something like this is useful for you guys also, so you can see how players like myself get to where they need to get, right? I mean, I'm approaching Unicam level with this tank, and I thought it would be the best thing to share with you guys. Okay, let's get back to the game here. So the strategy on a Skorpion Pass, especially with in the assault mode like this, single base mode, is to, in this case, is to catch these guys trying to cross through the open field. So the position that I'm in right now, actually it's a very good position to cut them off, to get some shots on the tanks that we're passing through. But one thing you have to remember, and what happened to me right at the beginning, is that you're gonna get focused. You're gonna get focused by artillery, and you're gonna get focused by all the tanks coming through. So if you're in a soft armored tank, you could still do this, but it will be a lot more difficult, because yeah, they can easily penetrate you. I was able to you know, take 3 shots. Well, I penetrated only 2, but I was able to take 3 shots, and I took 1 shot of damage. And if artillery wasn't paying attention to me, I think I would come out of that engagement even better. So I'm trying to hang around this spot, try to change position. Over there, took a shot at a different tank, hoping that these guys can forget about me and they don't see me. And I'm gonna keep on coming back into this position and trying to, you know, take a little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there. And yeah, that's the way to do it. That's actually perfect example of flanking. That's what you should do. So these guys aren't paying attention to me. I guess SDI started paying attention to me right now. I decided to go for heavy armored vehicle instead of the object. I wanted to take another shot at SDI, but obviously he was paying attention to me. Here I was never gonna pen it. I couldn't get my gun down, so I just took the shot, but it was just a wishful shot. Now, what's strange in this game, guys, is that my sixth sense is not going off. I just get targeted signal all the time, but sixth sense is not going off, which is really strange. Now I notice on the minimap, and that's why minimap in a corner is so important, because I see the light tank was coming to engage me, T49, and this is my kind of, I'm dropping right now because I really don't want to engage him. The reason why is I don't want him to go around me, and I'll be in trouble. I don't have clutch braking on this tank. It turns pretty crappy, so I don't really want to engage the light tank at this point in time. I was thinking drop a little, make him come up on the top of the hill here, and then maybe catch him napping. But when I come back here, back into this position, he's gone. So as you can see, I'm faking. I faked that I'm gonna go around to where our tanks are, but I didn't go. I came back to the same position because that's the best position. Honestly, I don't want to give this position up. I really want to start shooting them in the back here. So as you can see, we're losing this game 4-7 at this point. But again, I have very strong position here, so I'm gonna try to get a few shots off. Yes, I take the medium tank out, and now I can see the light tank coming from this side here. So luckily one of our tank destroyers joined me, so it's not just by myself. If it was just me right now, I would be probably dropping just like I did before towards my teammates, but because the tank destroyer is here with me, I decided to just hang around, because I have someone that protects me in case someone is coming from that side. So I don't have to worry about that side of the map. Now I'm really thinking here about actually dropping down and engaging them from the side. The guys that are close to the base, I was actually thinking hard about that. But then I changed my mind, because it's still too early in the game and the score is too close. I don't want to throw the game here. And a good thing I didn't, because you could see these two guys coming up. Don't matter if they're lower tier, guys. If there's two guns versus one, there's always trouble. So now we're kind of hairy situation, because we have a light tank on my left and he's trying to engage us, and these two guys are coming up right here. So it's gonna be difficult. I actually took a shot at the Vengeance, but it hit the dirt, unfortunately. So I'm aiming closer at this King Tiger. I think that's the King Tiger. Well, one of the Tigers, American Tiger. Anyway, here, interestingly enough, guys, did you see me to do that? I actually took a shot for my tank destroyer. That was on purpose. I didn't want the tank destroyer to die, so I went in front of the shot, and I got the Tiger to shoot me instead of the tank destroyer. Unfortunately, our tank destroyer died anyway, so you know, it happened. So I guess KV3 took him out, but that was the main thought. So now the game is much closer. It's 3v3. They still have artillery. They have KV3 and another tank destroyer. At this time, I don't know what that tank destroyer is. So you can see me kind of hanging around here trying to poke on KV3. Now the strange thing is, he saw my track and I couldn't see him through the bush. Like, explain this game to me. Like, I don't understand it sometimes. Anyway, I've played this game for 4 years, but lately it's been really, really strange. Some strange behavior. I don't understand, but maybe it's done on purpose, maybe not, maybe it's just my imagination. I don't know, guys. So we brought this game from being down 4-7, now we're leading 3-1. Now the only tank left is the T-30 tank destroyer. So what I'm gonna try to do is get behind him and maybe get a few more shots of damage, but wait, no, I can't come down here. Yeah, knowledge of the map, guys. Knowledge of the map. See, I just don't play enough. I think if I would be playing more, I would know exactly where to go. If I went a little bit more to the left, I would be able to go down and actually get behind them. But so I'm gonna do this. Okay, let's try to come from here. Flip. Wow, that was awesome. That was incredible. Bam, and I take him out. I'm surprised I didn't lose any health doing this, but yeah, excellent finish. So I saved the best for last. That was probably the best game out of my evening, or the last few evenings anyway. Couldn't manage anything better than this, guys, but 4.5k damage, 1500 block damage, come from behind win. So what else could you ask for? Very decent game, high caliber medal, 5 kills, 4.5k damage, 19 shots fired, 15 direct hits, 12 penetrations. Yeah, and that's about it, guys. Now, let's take a look at something that I've kind of taken out of the WOT info website. I mean, if you guys want to look at your statistics and you want to track your statistics and you want to try to understand where to get better, I would recommend this site, wotinfo.net. And basically there you can enter your gamer tag and it will show you your efficiency, your win rate, so on and so forth. So here you can see my efficiency chart for E50. I have 190 battles, 120 wins, 63.16% win rate. Win rate is climbing, which is a good sign. I'm entering Unicom level right now, which I'm extremely happy about, because of many tanks. I'm kind of in the blue right now, below or hovering around 2000 win rate, but with E50, I'm actually a little bit higher level. I have few tanks like that that are basically matching me better, I guess. Now, I love E50 and I would strongly recommend it. The reason why is because it plays at tier 9. You play it down to tier 7, it could be extreme bully. Extreme bully. Like, if you already get 50M, it's a great tank as well. I mean, it's very similar to E50, except the standard ammo is basically APCR. But the lowest tier you're facing is tier 8. With E50, the lower tier you're facing is tier 7. So, yeah, for whatever reason, I started really liking tier 9. I think it fits me pretty good, and it's a nice break from tier 10. Again, if you want to go and bully some lower tier opponents, I would highly recommend it. Anyway, guys, enough of me blabbering. It's a 50-minute video, if not longer. Again, I apologize for being too long. Let me know if this is something you enjoy, or do you prefer shorter videos like I mentioned before. If you're interested in something like this, I will continue this type of series and maybe show off other tanks that I'm playing that I really want to kind of bring to the Unicom level. So let me know. That's it for today. Until next time, happy tanking, Space Bandit, checking out.